in India, because of this long lineage of paternalistic attitude coming from a socialist system, we put a high cost of compliance and therefore created a very low cost of non-compliance. Right? So the businessman will have to maintain reams and reams of books to comply with the laws, and he will moan and groan that there is so much to do. But if something goes wrong, at the back of his mind he knows what is the cost of getting away from that. So we've created an environment where we have high cost of compliance and low cost of non-compliance. We have to make this stand on its head. If you want to build confidence in the system, then there has to be a certain fear in everybody inside the system, what I call intermediaries, market participants, not the investor. Intermediary, there has to be that fear that if I am caught for non-compliance, the price will be exorbitant. That may actually get me out of this business. Right? I think if we all understand the fear of Gabbar Singh, but we need to bring that parallel fear in the realm of capital markets. And that is when you send a powerful message to investors that this is a place that you can come in because there are rules and those rules are respected. If those rules are violated, there is a high probability it will be caught, and if the person is caught, he will be punished. Action will be taken. So you need to change the system from high cost of compliance to high cost of non-compliance. Confidence will improve. I think SEBI demonstrated that in the 90s, fines that SEBI would levy, even why 90s, even till about 2 years ago, fines that SEBI would levy would be 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs. The country has grown 5 times in economy or 6 times in economy in this period. But our fines used to be 2 lakhs. So it's only now that you will see fines of 5 crores, 10 crores, even 50 crores. Right. So we need to demonstrate there is a cost. But let me also hasten to add here that has to be perceived to be fair and consistent. Again, I go back to Chowpatty. If I am the cop, which is what he called me, if I am the cop at Chowpatty and Dakshesh jump signal and Asit jump signal, Dakshesh being the journalist is driving a Maruti, and Asit, having been in the markets, is driving the BMW. So if both of them jump signal, should I find them the same, or should I find the Maruti guy less and the BMW guy more?
BMW more.
How many people agree with her?
No.
How many people agree that the fine should be on the basis of the car he is driving?
The signal is the infringement, not the car you are driving.
Perfect. If you have to create a credible environment in this country, if you have to create a credible environment in this country, then your fine should be based on the actual charge. The charge is jumping signal. Yes, it will make far better Hindi movie dialogue to say that I socked the BMW guy with 10,000 rupees and let the Maruti guy go with 100 rupees. We will do a big disservice in the long term. So the mechanism has to be sufficient to recognize that there is a high cost of non-compliance, but not one to make people cynical that this is targeted at specific people and not others. Then you will not build credibility in the system. So to me, you will address misbuying through investor education, investor awareness, and all of those, not with a salesman's approach, but with, as I said, tamasoma jyotirgamaya approach. Lead them from darkness unto light. And you will address mis-selling by significantly introducing the importance of cost of non-compliance, but ensuring that the cost of non-compliance is levied fairly and consistently, not arbitrarily. So if the moment the other person believes that it's arbitrary, and Asit is a smart guy, the moment he believes it is arbitrary, he will find ways to go around the system. So world over, people are moving to keeping policies simple so that people don't spend so much time trying to figure out how to break it and how to get around it, and therefore ensures better compliance. I think tax is a great example. Tax is a great example of how, if you keep the rules simple, compliance standards improve. To me, actually, the better example is Election Commission. This is a country where election turnout used to be in the 30s and 40%. But the most recent state elections saw election turnout of 75%. There were places where we saw 85%. Because it is not that the Election Commission got a new charter. Believe you me, there is enough power that exists in almost every authority. It is about the conviction and the willingness to exercise that authority and exercise it fairly, consistently to build credibility. So Election Commission in the last 15 to 20 years has done path-breaking work. We believe that we are a third world country, but the kind of election issues that happened in the United States with manual processes will not happen here. So we have managed to get the villager to use the voting machine and vote, and they do it at 85%.